Welcome back to another episode of Ask Sherell, the show where you ask the questions and we answer. Guys, you are in for a special treat today. We're going to be talking about your health and your hair. We have our guest expert, my very own wig stylist in the house, Miss Yondell of My Wig Wardrobe, who's going to be sharing some tips with you on how you can keep them guessing. Be right back after these commercial messages.
Get your copy of The Blueprint to Weight Loss, The Truth Exposed, written by the health concierge, Sherell Brown.
Obesity is a worldwide issue. I had 2 children in 3 years. I ballooned up to 320 pounds. I have recently celebrated the release of 100 pounds. Result, this book was birthed. The Blueprint to Weight Loss, The Truth Exposed. See, this book does not just tell about my stories, but it tells about the process that I took to achieve those results. It's not just about how I lost the weight, but it's about how you can do it too.
Now available to order at Amazon or www.sherellbrown.com. Get your copy today.
So guys, welcome back to one of my favorite segments of the day. Hot topic. Now, first things first, some in-house business. First of all, guys, we were on Amazon and we were available on Kindle. Now we are officially available in print copy. If you have not gotten your copy of The Blueprint to Weight Loss, now is your chance. We are available for order. It is our prayer that this book be a blessing unto you. This is not just about how I lost the weight. It's about how you can do it too. It has menus, sample meal plans, and interactive guide for you along your health and wellness journey. And so we pray that this is a blessing unto you. Second of all, I just want to say a special shout out and a thank you to my girl, Miss L. Clark Care of I Am Queen, the movement group. Now, guys, if you have not noticed, she's been rocking a crazy cup. I don't give a sip. Well, today, care of Miss L. Clark, I now have my very own cup. Messy hair, don't care. She knows I'm getting ready to start my 21-day detox, and she's keeping me brand ready. Hello. And so if you need one of these cups, don't forget to check out Miss L. Clark. And second of all, don't forget our 21-day detox begins as of September 11th. We are taking care of the mind, body, and spirit, taking care of the outside, that physical man and the spiritual man, getting rid of the toxins, getting rid of the food, and getting rid of some people, if you know what I'm talking about. And so that was the first things first. Now on to Hot Topics. So in Hot Topics today, guys, we're going to be talking, I just love to talk about things that people are not talking about. We are talking about something that women and men across the globe face, something called alopecia. If you don't know what alopecia is when your immune system attacks your hair follicles. I'm not just talking about hair falling out of their scalp, but you have hair falling off of their chest and not growing in places where it's supposed to grow. And so that's one of the things we want to address today. We've reached that point in the show. You ask the questions and we answer. And so, of course, guys, we keep it anonymous. And so if you have a question for us, please feel free to visit us at www.sherellbrown.com and ask your question today. Don't be shy. Anything as it relates to health and wellness, we are here to serve you. And so our question coming in today from a female, she's telling us that she has since started her health and wellness journey. So first of all, congratulations for choosing to eat to live and not to die. But her question is, as a result of starting her health and wellness journey, she's now exercising 5 times out of the week, and it's causing her to sweat in her hair. Listen, sister, I've been there. And so she's saying as a result, she's now wearing more wigs or now wearing more weave. However, she does not like people in her business. She's asking for tips as it relates to transitioning from weave to weave and healthcare. And so guess what? As a result of your question, we brought our in-house expert in Miss Yondell, who is going to be sharing some tips with you and answering that question. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Miss Yondell, care of My Wig Wardrobe.
much, Sherell, for inviting me to be a guest on the Ask Sherell show. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so proud of you for your movement that you are doing with helping to transform women, helping to empower women, and share wonderful stories. My name is Yandel Guilford, and I'm the founder and owner of queensofwigs.com. And what I do at queensofwigs.com is so much more than just hair. I am the head designer and visionary behind Queens of Wigs. So first, I design custom wigs for everyday women that are on the go, but they want to look fabulous and they don't want people to know that they're wearing a wig. Also, I design wigs for women who are facing hair loss, like alopecia. 40% of women in the US, they suffer from hair loss. And I help to transform those women and uplift them, help them look good and feel good. Also, I have, through the designing program, I have a brand new program called My Wig Wardrobe. This is a one-of-a-kind subscription program. It's the only online wig subscription program at the time. It's the first. And what we do at My Wig Wardrobe is I have you fill out a beauty survey. You subscribe, you fill out your beauty survey, and then I take a close look at that survey to get to know your hair personality, get to know your lifestyle, and I match wigs on a monthly basis based on your beauty survey. So you get a style guide every month with 3 wigs that you should try for that month based on your beauty survey. So Sherell could tell y'all all about that because she's slaying her crown. She's part of My Wig Wardrobe. So the way that it works, just to simplify it, if you come to me and you're like, Yandel, I have a birthday coming up and I want to look like Sierra. I like this style that Sierra's rocking. I go and find you a wig that looks like Sierra. It's high quality, but it's affordable. So you don't have to break the bank to look good for less. So that's how My Wig Wardrobe works. It's a really cool program. You could check it out at bit.ly/mywigwardrobe. Okay, another thing that I do that is near and dear to my heart is I teach women and teens how to make wigs. So I teach people wig making. I have a Wig Making Made Easy DVD, which is available on my website. Also, I have done one-on-one workshops, group workshops, all that jazz. But the thing that's near and dear to my heart is that I teach adolescents wig making, but more importantly, I'm teaching them hair esteem. I'm teaching them personal development and self-love. The wig making is just the caveat. That's the bonus, but our girls have such low self-esteem that they need to be taught self-love. And I do that by teaching them wig making. And I'll talk to you more about that in my why. Last but not least, I consult with hairpreneurs. I consult with hair business owners who are starting their hair business, and I help them get running. I provide them with the resources that they need in order to thrive, because the hair industry is a big industry, and I want all of my girls to win, all my ladies or gents, I should say, to win. So I have created e-courses, e-books, workbooks to help people thrive in the hair industry, because I know exactly what it's like to feel alone. So those are just a few things that I do through Queens of Wigs. So as you can tell, we do way more than just hair. Okay, so let's talk about my why. I started Queens of Wigs because I know what it's like to lose your hair. Both of my parents are Guyanese, and there's a cultural belief that when a woman becomes pregnant, if she has other children, she should not comb the children's hair because it will fall out. So when my mother became pregnant with my little sister, she stopped doing my hair. Myself and my little sister are 10 years apart. So she told me, you know what, I think you're old enough to do your hair, and I'm not going to be able to do your hair anymore. Prior to that, since I was in 3rd grade, so when I was about 7, 8, my mom relaxed my hair because I had really, really thick hair. So as a result of my thick hair, she couldn't manage it, so she felt she needed to relax it. So imagine a 10-year-old now having to be responsible for their relaxed hair. So imagine being an adolescent entering middle school and not having any edges. It's devastating. It's devastating for anybody at any age to lose their hair. 40% of women have hair loss. Okay, so this is part of the reason why I do what I do. I lost my hair at a very young age and I was teased. I had to deal with it and I had very low self-esteem. And that's why I say I do more than just hair, because hair is deeper than hair. It runs deep. It has a cultural aspect to it. It has an image aspect to it. It reflects how we feel. If we don't feel good or if we don't look good, we don't feel good, Sherell. So this is why I established Queens of Wigs. So a little bit more about my why. I was able to, my mom, as strict as my parents were, they gave me freedom with my hair. So I was able to play around with hair extensions, starting with braids, cornrow braids, and box braids. And that eventually grew back my hair because I wasn't relaxing it as frequently. So I used that as a protective style. I'm a strong believer that your hair is your canvas. I believe this because you are able to show your individuality through your hair. So I was able to play around with my hair and show fashion and do different things with my hair. By the time I got to high school, my mom let me wear weaves. So that's another way I was able to play with my hair. I just love hair, love curling, love trying new styles. I'm a strong believer of beating up the weave or now the wig as opposed to your real hair. Fast forward some more over to college. I get to college. I'm doing my hair myself. I went to school upstate New York, was working on my degree in English education and special ed upstate New York from Syracuse University. At the time, there weren't any stylists on the bus line that could do my hair, so I had to do my partial weaves myself. But after trying to blend my real hair, that became tiring. So hair store owner introduced me to wigs. Once I was introduced to wigs, I never went back to weaves because I like the versatility of wigs and I like the fact that you're not tied down to the wig. When I want to wash my hair, I just take off my wig. When I come home from a long day, I still take off my wig. So I became obsessed with wigs. Fast forward some more to my senior year. Remember the Tyra Banks show? I love that show. Well, anyway, Tyra revealed the celebrity hair secret about lace wigs. Lace wigs have been around for centuries, by the way. George Washington used to wear a lace wig. But anyway, Tyra introduced the celebrity secret lace wigs. And you know, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I need that in my life. So I did my research and they were over $1,000. I just graduated from college, didn't have $1,000 to spare. So crazy me, the educator in me, said, you know what? I'm going to figure out how to make these bad boys and make them for myself. So I figured out how to make them. It was challenging trying to figure out how to afford a class. Thank God I found a program that offered DVDs that you could learn how to make them from the convenience of your home, and they had a payment plan. So I learned. It was tedious. It was not easy. I learned how to ventilate strand by strand and make full lace wigs. And I don't teach full lace wig making because I think it's too tedious. I teach something called Wig Making Made Easy. With the closure wig, it looks like a full lace wig, but it's not. I just want to clarify on that. So I learned how to make these wigs. I started making them for myself, then family members, then friends, and Queens of Wigs was created. All the time, I didn't know what hair loss was. Like, I knew that people lost their hair, but I didn't know the severity of hair loss. I didn't know how common hair loss was, is what I should have said. I didn't know what alopecia was. I didn't know what trichotillomania was, which is a hair pulling disorder. I didn't know that people were losing their hair to lupus. I didn't know people were losing their hair due to medications. I just didn't know. Didn't even know what a trichologist was. So not until I got my first real deal client, which was a client that had alopecia. Now, 98% of my clientele, they have alopecia. I realized how transforming and how empowering it can be to create a piece that is realistic for this woman to help build up their hair esteem. I didn't realize how deep what I do was until I started doing it, if that makes sense. So many women deal with hair esteem. They deal with low self-esteem, low confidence because they are losing their hair and they just want to look like everyone else. They don't want people to know that they wear wigs. And what I do, my business is confidential. I don't have a lot of images of my clients because they don't want people to know that they wear wigs. And I respect that. And it makes me feel good because either people think that they have a really good weave on, or people think that the hair is growing out of their scalp. And that's why I do what I do, because there's no greater feeling than transforming someone and uplifting someone, making them feel better. So I'm definitely changing lives one head at a time. And also, I do what I do because what I said, what's near and dear to my heart is the hair empowerment movement. A lot of teens suffer from low self-esteem. And we all know the results of what happens to people when they have low self-esteem. What happens? We know that. But we're not going to talk about it. Let's focus on the positive. Imagine how confident a girl is when she has high self-esteem. Imagine all that a girl can accomplish if she knows that she can conquer the world. So who's teaching our young girls self-love? So I feel like as an educator, there isn't any self-esteem program built in the curriculum. Self-esteem isn't in the Common Core. And that's why I created the resource, My Hair is My Canvas, which is a coloring book to promote hair esteem. Because our girls face a lot of issues. The media can be so negative. We as women can be so negative. Look at Gabrielle Douglas as example. People are going against this girl because of her hair when she's an Olympian winning medals. That's ridiculous. People look at Blue Ivy. People are attacking a child based on saying that she's ugly and ridiculing her mother for not combing her hair because she chooses to have her rock an afro. That's why I created My Hair is My Canvas, so you can learn more about the movement and join the movement by either buying a coloring book or becoming an affiliate by going to bit.ly/hair movement. Now, Sherell's going to put all my links below, and I did promise you guys a treat. So I have a special treat in store for you guys next. And this treat I like to call the How to Keep Them Guessing at Work treat. It's a trick. It's a trick that you could do with your wig. So I'm going to go away and come back, and you'll be in for a surprise where I'll tell you how you can keep them guessing. If you're a wiggy like me, how you could keep people guessing at work where they won't have the slightest idea. So there's a few steps you need to follow, so you want to stay tuned for what's up next. Hey beauty queens, as promised, I am back for the final bonus segment, and I like to call this the How to Keep Them Guessing at Work trick. This will keep your coworkers out of your hair. You will have them fooled that you are rocking your real hair if you follow these steps. You can turn these steps into your own, but there's 3 things that you have to keep in mind. Color being number 1. Color is extremely important. You want to pick a color that you can stick to and commit to and be consistent with for at least 6 months. Yeah, I said it, at least 6 months. So it should be a color that you absolutely adore. Number 2 is length. You want to stage your lengths. In order for this trick to work, you have to gradually let your wig grow how your natural hair kind of will grow. That's how you're going to keep them fooled. And number 3, which is the most important component of this trick, is texture. Texture is so crucial when picking out a wig. You want to stay away from the shiny, silky, fake textures because they scream wiggy. Those plastic Barbie doll hair looking textures, stay away from them if you are trying to have a natural look, okay? So as a tip for you, stick to light yakis. If you have African American texture here, you want to try a light yaki or a yaki. Brazilian is great, a great multicultural texture because virgin Brazilian hair looks good on anyone and it blends well with a lot of different hair textures. So that's just a little bonus trick I threw in there for you. So behind me, I have the trick staged out. So you can start with the boy cut. I'm going to bring her closer. So you can start with a sexy boy cut like this. Our focus color today, our statement color happens to be red. And the beauty about all these wigs behind me is that they are My Wig Wardrobe approved. So they're affordable wigs. All the wigs behind me were under $50. under $40 actually. So they're definitely affordable. This one happens to be human hair, and I actually colored this one. She was a brighter red, but I darkened her a bit. All right, so we'll start with that. You'll get a lot of compliments from your coworkers, and give it about 6 to 8 weeks. You could do longer if you want. You can come back to work with this one. So she has that sexy fringe bang going on, which is hot, but she still has the shortness. So she kept it nice and short and nice and tapered at the back, so it's not unrealistic. Now, for those of you that are like, well, my hair wouldn't grow that fast, you could even cut this and still have the fringe going on. If you want to cut it, that is okay. All right. So then 6 weeks to 8 weeks more, you're going to wait a little longer. And one thing I forgot to mention in this middle one, let me show you one more time. She has dark roots, because what happens when we color our hair and our hair naturally grows out, what happens? Our natural roots come back in, our natural color, our new growth. So that's what I love. Another trick I'm throwing at you. When you're shopping for wigs or buying wigs, don't sleep on the dark roots. It makes your hair look more natural if you're rocking color. Then about 6, 8 weeks after that one, you can come back with this one. So you got your relaxer, your hair grew out even more. All right, so this is just to give you a general idea. As I said, there's several ways that you could do this. You don't have to do it with red. You could do it with jet black. You could do it with number 2, 1B30, whatever you like. But you want to gradually stage it to keep them guessing at work. This is a fabulous tip for those of you that like to be discreet. You really don't like everyone in your business about what's going on with your hair. You like to keep them guessing and fooled, but you like to keep it realistic. So you want to stage out your lengths, keep consistent with the color, and be very picky with the texture. One more thing before I go, Sherell, that I want to mention about the texture is I don't want anyone to think, oh, well, I like curly and I only see straight up here, or I like wavy and I only see straight up here. You can still follow this trick and do curly, wavy, straight, all of that, but just make sure the original texture is similar. So if you're going to do curly or wavy, if you started out with yaki, do a curly yaki, do a wavy yaki. If that makes sense, that should make sense. Okay, so once again, thank you guys so much for having me on. I had a blast, and thank you again, Sherell. I'm so happy to be here. And last but not least, if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope under The Wig Teacher. Again, Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope under The Wig Teacher. My website is queensofwigs.com, queensofwigs.com, and on Facebook I'm under my business name, Queens of Wigs. All right, so check us out, check my wig wardrobe out. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a happy hair week. Bye, guys.
Guys, we want to say a special thank you to Miss Yondell. There were some awesome tips. Who knew? Arrange your wigs in stages or process, from short hair to medium hair to long hair. Keep them guessing, guys. And so thank you so much, Yondell, for your information, your advice, your expertise on how she can now apply these tips to her everyday life. Guys, we've reached the end of another episode of Ask Sherell. Listen, I would not trade this for the world. But if you have any questions for us, please feel free to visit us at www.sherellbrown.com. Or we'd like to have you as a guest on our show. If you share any expertise as it relates to health and wellness, please feel free to visit us at our website. And last but not least, we'd like to say a special thank you to our sponsors, for without them this would not be possible. Miss Allison at I Am Allison, Miss Lamara Davis, care of Anika's Jewels, and of course to Miss Yondell, care of My Wig Wardrobe. Guys, thank you for tuning in with us today and every Monday. We'll see you next week right here on Ask Sherell.